Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns. We got our snowmageddon. I think there was about 6 to 7 inches out there. And Sunday afternoon I spent most of the day clearing the driveway because all I had was a shovel. I had debated about whether getting one of those small snow plows. You know, they run about $200 to blow the snow, and decided, well, no, last year we didn't get much snow. Year before we only really had a couple of snows. Nah, it'll be okay. So I have one ordered. And why? Because we have snow coming again tomorrow. I think Thursday and Friday, Saturday, and then the following Tuesday, Thursday. So yeah, sometimes you learn the hard way, like I did, that it was not a good idea not to have a snowblower. But, you know, it is what it is, right, folks? So anyway, when I was out there with the shovel, neighbors were out building a snowman and sledding down the side of the sled, and they came over and helped me for a little bit. But they, you know, a couple of kids, and they really wanted to get back to their snow sledding, so I think they helped me for about 30 minutes, which was a great help, because otherwise I would have been in trouble. The biggest thing that I found is, because it was a shovel, my hand is killing me today. And I'm sure that's because it just wasn't ready for that kind of workout. But you know, I'm putting heat nice on it today, so hopefully that'll take care of it. Let me see if I can get this a little more focused. Sorry, folks. I don't know what's going on with this camera, but it's making me crazy. Anyway, so that's kind of what's going on there. I have BSF Bible study, and we'll be doing it via Zoom. So that should be interesting. Never done Bible study by Zoom. I am continuing to work on this. I only got one more row done on it. So, you know, there's that. I am continuing to work on that sugar blush shawl. And I am using a chunky yarn, so I do know that once I get through with both of those skeins that it will be done. It's just finding time to work on it. Now, as you know, I wanted to learn to do interlocking crochet. Hold on. Had to shoo the cats. They were running in and out among the camera legs, and I was a little worried they'd knock it down. Anyway, as you know, I was working on the oh God, they're gonna drive me nuts today. Sometimes I think it's the snow. They see it out there and they want to get out there. I'm not taking them out, not letting them out. I don't want them to be outside cats. Just don't want that. It's too dangerous where I live. I was wanting to do the interlocking crochet. Let me get back on track. Sorry about that. Focus, craft ADD. And so I started with what was called a zigzag hot pad. And at first I couldn't get the zig or the zag. Finally got it down, and that is finished. They tell you can use it as a wash rag or a hot pad. I'll be using it to wash things with. And I really like the way it is. It's a soft, cushy fill. So I think blankets made out of this are going to be amazing. And in that vein, I did find my book. And it is basically this book, Interlocking Crochet. And it is 80 original stitch patterns plus techniques and projects. And they kind of take you through the crochet, the idea of interlocking crochet. It is a book by Tanis Gallic. That is who I was telling you about, and like called it Organic, I think. and I was having trouble with it, but once you get it down, it makes a lot more sense. It's just with some of the videos she had, it was rather it was a little dark to see in the video how she was placing her hands. So those are some of the projects, and I plan on working on a couple of those. You know, do a block here or there, and then you can always put them together, or I can mix and match the projects itself. She does have a couple of projects listed in the book itself. Let me see if I can find one. Like she has a beautiful blanket there. And it is gorgeous. And it uses quite a few of those stitches. She has a couple of scarves that you can do. So I am enjoying learning this process, as well as a couple of tote bags. So yeah, I find it interesting. So I am enjoying it. Like I said, this one I think is absolutely stunning. And it is a baby blanket. And I think that is just beautiful. So I'm looking forward to really getting into it and working a little bit further before I start getting into some of the designs. Many of you, Jenny hasn't put out a video in a long time, Jenny Rupert, but she does a lot of interlocking crochet projects, and they are stunning, absolutely stunning. The hardest thing about it was learning where to put the hook. Simply, like I said, because the videos were so dark that Tanis had, that it was hard to determine where they were. I would hope that she redoes those, just because it's a good technique, good idea to be able to see those in a clearer light, you know, a stronger light. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about some things I found at Dollar Tree, and I'll tell you why. They have a new round of containers out, and one of those is this kind of bucket style. It's a nice, good size. It'll hold a nice crochet project, and I do plan on using that for that. But like I said, the edges, I find, doesn't matter whether they're from Walmart, Target, whatever, sometimes the handles here are kind of rough, so I will be making a padded band to go around that. Then one of the other things is they do have these dolls in this color and a dark skin tone. These are fairly cute little dolls that you can add to your Operation Christmas Child boxes. You can make skirts, you can make dresses, you can make all kinds of things. I have seen people use the fingers off of gloves where they have, you know, cut them to make socks and made little shoes for these dolls. You can use this doll as a pattern to make more dolls for your boxes if you want. Like I said, make skirts. The other thing is blankets. We crochet, we knit. We can knit and crochet a small blanket for these dolls, even small clothing for these dolls. So yeah, those are some ways to dress up those kind of dolls, those kind of things. They do also have this doll occasionally. This doll, you can do the same thing, make clothes for it, make bloomers, make a little dress, a skirt, you name it, those kind of things. And of course you can also crochet knit blankets, crochet knit clothes. But if you are a sewer and you have a lot of scraps left over, don't get rid of your scraps, don't throw them away. Make crumb quilts for these dolls to go in the boxes. Now when you make these crumb quilts for these dolls, do not put in batting or anything like that in between the layers of the fabric. Just use the 2 layers of fabric, front and back side. And then you can sew around the edges, or you could actually do some quilting in it if you wanted to, you know, mimic quilting, those kind of things. So those are a couple of ideas for the Operation Christmas Child boxes each year. The other thing is you can make small kits. I do know that some of the Dollar Trees have sewing embroidery kits, crochet kits, knit kits. They're the really small amigurumi type things. If you can find those in your area, those are great things to add into the box as well. I don't know about the crochet hook because, you know, I don't have one of those kits in my area so that I could actually see what they are. Most likely they're plastic because it's Greenbrier, it's Dollar Tree. It's going to be something, be fairly made cheaply, you know. So, but anyway, those are some things you can consider. If you are a crocheter and you have a ton of crochet hooks, consider adding crochet hook and a ball or 2 of yarn into those boxes as well as something that has a picture tutorial for how to do a couple of the stitches. You know, those are some ideas. Many times people, missionaries who are in these areas do a lot of crafts in their downtime, and a lot of them can actually teach those to the people. You've not only given that child something to keep them busy, but you've given them a skill. So those are some things to think about. And you know, in all these stores we always see those crochet doilies, and those come from some of those third world countries where they make 60 cents a day making doilies, crocheting doilies, which is a big help to them and their families. So those are some ideas to think about as well. That's kind of it. Don't have a whole lot to share this time. It's just a matter of getting back in track and doing things, and you know, I'm still doing things here and there in the house that kind of take my time away, as well as doing a couple of other things that have nothing to do with crochet or knit, you know. So yeah, that's kind of it for now. Are you ready for a little water in Tarnation? I know I am. Waves at California beaches glow with bioluminescent algae at night. If you've never had the opportunity to see that, you should really take the time to go down and look at it, because they're absolutely amazing. Waves at night are awful gorgeous anyway, the way that they look and the light when it hits it. But every once in a while you have an unusual type of algae that will change the color. An unusual type of algae is coming close to shore in California, leading to a phenomenon known as bioluminescent or glowing waves. Visitors to Orange County beaches this week reported spotting the glowing blue waves in multiple locations during nighttime hours, and charter boat services have been offering special after-dark tours of the illuminated waters. The phenomenon is caused by an algae known as Lingulodinium polydra, which is known for its bioluminescence, or natural glowing when it reacts to being moved by water. The glowing waves correspond with the red tide, an algae bloom that can cause the waters to appear red, brown, or orange during the day due to the presence of the algae. It is the same type of organism when you have a red tide, which gives the water kind of an orangish-brown, red kind of tint when they are high in density during the day. But at night, when disturbed, they produce bioluminescence. So when there's a lot of agitation in the surf, it can activate the bioluminescence, which makes the waves appear to be glowing. And there's video if you can't get to the beach. Chinese performer Slinky skills create new world record category. A Chinese performer created a new Guinness World Records category with his Slinky skills when he used the spring-like toy to surround 41 glass bottles in 1 minute. Wu Wok Jang, a Guangdong, butchering the name I'm sure, a resident who has been creating his own Slinky manipulation tricks since 2009, brought his skills to the set of the Italian series Le Show des Records. The show saw Wu use his Slinky to individually surround 41 bottles in 1 minute, returning the toy to his hands after each bottle. The feat led Guinness World Records to make him the first title holder for the most glass bottles tracked with a Slinky in 1 minute. And there's video. It's amazing to watch. But guess what? Here's another item you could consider putting in your Operation Christmas child boxes. A Slinky. And lots of times, Dollar Tree has plenty of Slinkies. Walmart has them. They have them in all kinds of sizes. You can order them on Amazon in bulk. So those are some ideas to use. I'm never lucky enough to find these kind of things when I go thrift shopping, but I'm rather amazed when people do find them. Brooch purchased for under $25, expected to sell up for $19,000. A brooch purchased for under $25 from a British antique store in the 1980s is now headed to auction and is expected to fetch $19,000 after an appearance on the Antiques Roadshow. Gilding's auctioneer said Flora Steele was watching a Most Wanted Finds clip from 2011 of Antiques Roadshow when she recognized some sketches showed on a screen from the Victoria and Albert Museum's archive. Yep, the designs were for brooches designed by Victorian Gothic Revival designer and architect William Burgess. And they reminded Steele of a piece she had purchased from an antique store for less than $25 in 1988. I decided to have a better look at the V&A drawing, and lo and behold, there was my brooch. I practically fell off my chair, she told the auction house. Steele brought her brooch to the Christmas Eve special of the BBC One series, and appraiser Jeffrey Munn described it as a breathtaking discovery. The silver, coral, lapis lazuli, and malachite brooch is now scheduled to be auctioned in the spring and is expected to sell for up to $19,000. The brooch originally caught my eye for its strong design, strange lettering, and unusual stones. Steele said, "I've always loved it and thought it was so particular in its design that sooner or later I would discover who had designed it." Gilding's director, Will Gilding, said Steele's piece is the third of Burgess's brooches to be brought to an auction house as a result of the 2011 Antiques Roadshow episode. For it to happen once, amazing. Twice, remarkable. A third time, pinch me, he said. You know, our little puppy dogs, kitty cats, sometimes get into trouble. This dog did something unusual, and I'm sure the owners aren't too thrilled about it, but they're laughing about it now. Pittsburgh couple's dog eats $4,000 cash. A Pittsburgh couple whose dog ate an envelope filled with $4,000 cash said they were able to recover $3,550, but it was dirty work. Clayton Law said he and his wife Carrie were having a fence installed at their home in the Point Breeze neighborhood, and the workers requested to be paid in cash. So he left an envelope filled with $4,000 in $150 bills on the kitchen counter. Law said he returned to the kitchen about 30 minutes later to find Cecil, the couple's 7-year-old golden doodle, making a meal out of the cash. I walked back into the room, and then all this cash was on the ground. He was just like this, standing there, and I'm like, oh my gosh. He ate some of the money and was in shock. I yelled to Gary, he ate the money. He ate $4,000, Law told KDKA-TV. The couple set about trying to reassemble the shredded bills and came up with $1,500 worth of bills, with serial numbers that were intact enough to have them replaced by their bank. A couple more $100 bills were later retrieved in the evening when Cecil vomited. But the rest of the money involved a lot of waiting and a whole lot of very dirty work. The couple sifted through Cecil's droppings for the next 2 days and used a utility sink to wash the shreds of paper so they could be taped back together. I never thought I'd be able to say I've laundered money, but there is apparently a first time for everything, Gary Law told Washington Post. In the end, the couple were able to salvage $3,550. Couple said they are going to mail the rest of the bill remnants to the U.S. Treasury Department in hopes of recovering more of the money. But if not, they will at least have a fun story to tell their son one day. We've kept at least one of the torn up bills so we can do a piece of artwork and frame it to commemorate the whole entire situation, she said. Not that we'd ever forget. The Law said Cecil, who is normally a very well-behaved and has never so much as stolen food from the counter before is out of the doghouse. We couldn't be mad at him. He's a very lovable dog, Gary Law said. People often tell us there's a human trapped inside our dog. He was hungry for money, apparently. And there's video of the dog. He is adorable. Let me get a drink. Now this story is rather amazing because not only is it something that's only happened by an AI computer, but this young boy was filming his gaming when it happened, so he's got it on film. Boy 13 becomes first to ever beat Tetris for Nintendo system. 13-year-old gamer is believed to be the first human to ever beat Tetris on the original Nintendo Entertainment System. Willis Gibson, who goes by the handle Blue Scooty, or Scuddy, I don't know, SCUTI online, achieved a feat that had previously only ever been accomplished by artificial intelligence when he reached the 34-year-old's game's kill screen, the point where the game crashes because the software can't advance further. The 13-year-old player posted a video to YouTube showing the moment he reached the point at which the game freezes. Oh my God, yes, I'm going to pass out, Gibson says in the video. I can't feel my hands. It's a cute video. Gibson is among the competitive Tetris players who use a technique called rolling, which involves rolling the fingers of one hand on the back of a NES controller to push it into the other hand, allowing them to press the directional pad more than 20 times a second. I've watched my husband do this. It's not an easy thing to do. Vince Clementi, the president of the Classic Tetris World Championship, said that if Gibson's feat is independently confirmed, he will officially be the first human to ever beat the Nintendo system of Tetris. It's never been done by a human before, Clementi told the New York Times. Sorry about the nose. It's basically something that everyone thought was impossible until a couple of years ago. Oklahoma family's cat rescues small dog from 2 coyotes. I call them coyotes. That's where it came from. Coyotes. A dog who was attacked by 2 coyotes in her family's Oklahoma backyard was rescued by an unlikely hero, the family cat. Lane Dyer of Edmond said his family's 6-year-old Havanese dog, Oakley, was let outside to do her business when the 2 coyotes attacked. Security cameras recorded as the 2 wild animals went after the much smaller canine, but they fled the scene seconds later when the family's outdoor cat, Binks, vaulted over the fence and chased them away. You can't tell me dogs and cats don't care for each other. It was inspiring to see just our little outdoor cat just jump at 2 coyotes, that were attacking this little dog who she loves and run them off, Dyer told K4 TV. Oakley was taken to Neal Veterinary Hospital where veterinarians initially feared she might lose her leg, but the small dog is now well on her way to making a full recovery, Dyer said. And there's video. Go Binks! Now this next story is kind of near and dear to my heart because of the way my twin boys were born. Because they were almost born on separate days. New Jersey twins born in separate years. A New Jersey couple welcomed a set of twins who were born not only on different days, but in different years. Ezra Humphrey was born at 11:48 p.m. December 31st at Virtua Voorhees Hospital in Voorhees, giving him the same birthday as father Billy Humphrey, 36. Fraternal twin Ezekiel was born at 12:28 a.m. January the 1st. I was very excited about the potential of having my boys on my birthday, Billy Humphrey told Good Morning America. We went in that day and I wasn't quite sure if they're going to come today or not, but having one of them at least on my birthday was a huge blessing and a gift. Their mother, Eve Humphrey, 34, said she'd gone to the hospital December the 31st, was sent home due to a false alarm. The next day, she returned. My water broke and I'm like, happy birthday, I think I have to go to the hospital, Eve Humphrey recalled. Billy Humphrey wrote on Instagram that his newborn sons are so special they couldn't even share being born on the same year. I just know they're going to be world changers, and they couldn't share the same day, right? They needed their own spotlight, Billy Humphrey told WABC TV. Congratulations to the Humphreys on their birth. All right, guys, that is it for today's podcast. Let me get the devotional out. Gotta reach down here. Gotta hide it in a basket so the cats don't play with the ribbon. Those cats will play with anything. Now we are continuing the promises, God's promises from God's heart. Now, this is also promises from God's heart when you are confused. And we're going to continue with that. I'm going to read both pages today. Now, if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives to all generously and without criticizing, and it will be given to him. Comes from James 1:5. The one who gets wisdom loves life. The one who cherishes understanding will soon prosper. Proverbs 19:8. Now we have this treasure in clay jars, so that this extraordinary power may be from God and not from us. We are pressured in every way, but not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. We are persecuted, but not abandoned. We are struck down, but not destroyed. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7 through 9. All the Lord's ways show faithful love and truth to those who keep his covenant and decrees. Psalms 25, 10. Obey the laws of God and follow all his ways. Keep each of his commands written in the law of Moses, so that you will prosper in everything you do, wherever you turn. 1 Kings 2, verse 3. Now this is our boast. Our conscience testifies that we have conducted ourselves in the world, and especially in our relations with you, with integrity and godly sincerity. We have done so relying not on worldly wisdom, but on God's grace. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 12. And that is it for today's video. As always, be kind to yourself, be kind to one another, love one another, get in touch with God, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.